Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Caged In podcast. This week we are going to be looking at Red Rock West. I always have to really make sure I enunciate Red Rock West because I find it quite difficult to say. Again, this is one I know nothing about, so I am looking forward to it. Like, it could be a reason I know nothing about it, because it could be shit. But, obviously knowing nothing about it leads me on to a rule that I have of this podcast. For those of you who've not listened before, what are you doing if you haven't listened to this before? There's been some amazing episodes and some amazing guests so far. Look back to episode 11 with Max Cleworth of The New Tusk when we discussed Vampire's Kiss. Or I think it's episode 13 maybe with Martin Huxter. We looked at Wild at Heart. Or episode 15, Zanderley with James Hunt from the Sort of Ghostly podcast. Check that one out, definitely. There's been some really good ones so far. So yeah, what's your reason for not checking it out, guys? Going on to the rules. For those, as I said, for those of you who have never listened before, all those idiots, the rules are simple, and me knowing enough about the film is a good thing, because I go in with no expectations. That's one of the rules, no expectations. And if I don't know anything about the film, I'm not going to know anything about the film. I'm not going to watch any trailers, I'm not going to look up any IMDb scores or anything like that. Scores I'll leave to the end of the podcast, where once I've made up my opinion, I will then put it against the scores I find online. If that happens to be IMDb scores, Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, famed critics like Roger Ebert, I'll discuss those, see if I'm close to those opinions or way off the mark. And the other rule I have is no distractions. So whilst I record these episodes and whilst I watch the film, I watch it in one sitting. There's no breaks, there's no toilet breaks or anything like that. I make sure I've gone for a wee before if I have to. I make sure I've got all my snacks and I'm hydrated all the way through. So that's it. Like, I don't look at my phone, I put that on airplane mode, I ignore the door, everything. I just, bang, it's me and Cage locked eye to eye. But that's really it for them rules. So cool. As always, I'm gonna get my feet up, turn my phone off, and get raging with Cage. Feels like I've been awake for days, watching films starring Nicolas Cage. Could be shit or it could be fun. Valley Girl, Face Off, An Army of One, Deadpool, Cornell, Lord of War, The Wicker Man, Trespass, and so many more. Know how it starts, I don't know how it ends. The first 10 are solo, then it's me and some friends. No distractions, no expectations. Over the weeks, hear my frustrations. I guess the podcast is about to begin. I'm your host, Petros, and I'm caged in. Hello guys, well, I've now watched the film and it's time to get down to what the fuck happened in it. And I'm actually quite jovial because I enjoyed this film. I found it real fun. The film again is Red Rock West. I would recommend any of you searching it out, watching it. It's it is great. So how does it start off? It starts off with essentially what looked like a Levi's advert. You see these bare legs poking out of a car, and it's our main man, Nick Cage. And he's putting on a leg brace, and he's just kind of the next scene, he's topless, shaving under a windmill in the desert. And he's doing one-armed press-ups. He's got a crisp white t-shirt on, and in his suitcase in the boot of his car, he puts on a crisp white shirt. And I don't know, I think it was like the combination of the music. It was very westerny sounding, but it just kind of had all the visuals of kind of like a 90s Levi's ad campaign. And the reason he's doing this is because he's driving to a job interview. Well, he thinks he's got the job. It's kind of working on a construction site with a load of guys. And he doesn't get it because he's got a dodgy leg. And his friend's like, why'd you tell him about the leg? Like, you could have got away with it. And he's like, they would have found out eventually. There's no point me trying to fool them because that's not the kind of guy I am. It's kind of set up very early on that he's like a nice, honest guy just looking for a job. And then we get the first moment of I don't know what I'd call like classic Cage. Is he kind of gets in the car, and when he's driving away, he kind of like lets out a yelp and punches the ceiling of the car, just like, ah! And it's like you see that glint in his eyes, like, yes, this is the Cage we love and enjoy. This like nowhere near as crazy as Eddie from last week's episode, but you can't have Eddie all the time. You can't be running on 100. Sometimes you've got to simmer it down. Like I think this might be the first film where he's kind of there's no aspect of him being like a bit of a dick, really. He is the out and out good guy in this. Like yeah, like I don't know, in other films he's kind of been the good guy, but the situation he's in, he's not really. Obviously, like Raising Arizona, he is he's a convict, and yeah, like Amos and Andrew again. Like I don't know, yeah, everything up until this point, he's kind of he's not been the best of guys, I would say, but this one he definitely is, and it's like a big point of his character that he is a like upstanding citizen. It's like it gets a bit cloudy at parts of this film, but it's good that it's established early on that he is an upstanding, nice guy. Even like when tested, in the next scene, he goes to a gas station, honks the horn, and he's asking, "Is anybody there?" He's like looking about, there's no one there. He sees the money, he's low on money, he's obviously desperate for a job. He sees the money in like a case behind the counter when he's like looking around for someone, and you can see in that moment it's like, shit, like I could steal it, and he doesn't. Again, like further cementing the idea that he's a stand-up guy. He has a chat. He gets $5 worth of gas as well from this. The guy eventually comes out. It's $5. Like, I'm not sure how much fuel that would like. It must have been a really good price back in 1993 for gas. Like, I don't drive myself, but like, all I hear is people going on about fuel prices, and I know $5 wouldn't get you very far. So yeah, and the guy kind of sets up the film for us in a way, because he says like, "Oh, you're looking for work? What kind of work you look for?" It's like drilling work, like kind of like oil rig kind of stuff. And he's like, "Oh, well, that's perfect. If you head on over to Red Rock, that's where a lot of the drilling crews like they hang out in the bar and stuff like that. Get yourself over there. I'm sure you'll be able to find some work with those guys." So what does our main man do? He heads on down to Red Rock to find that work, and he goes into the bar that the guy had told him about. He gets himself a cup of coffee, speaks to the bartender. The bartender saw that his lumber plate was from Texas. This seems like it is like not a big deal, but it is. This guy thinks that he is someone else. He thinks that he is Lyle from Dallas, and he tells Lyle that he thinks is Lyle. It is our main man, Slippery Nick, that he has a job for him. He thinks that it's simply like bar work or something like that. No. The owner of the bar was expecting this Lyle to come in and kill his wife. He tells him the plan. He says, right, That's it. I'll give you 10 grand for killing the wife. I'll give you 5 up front, then 5 after you've done it. And he goes for it. He's desperate. He's down on his luck. He thinks, fuck it, I'm going to take that 10 grand. That'll get me going. That will get me moving on. So he goes through the plan and he gets to work. He goes and spies on the wife who is horse riding. He sees her go into a cabin with a horse hand, what are they called? A farm hand. And he thinks that obviously that must be why the husband wants her dead. She's playing away. Oh, little does he know there is a whole web of mystery and intrigue to come. And then she arrives back at their home and Slippery Nick's waiting in the shadows. And not a very good assassin, I'll tell you that. He tells the wife that Wayne, her husband, had given him money to kill her. She offers him double what he paid her to kill him instead. And like the clever businessman that he is, thinks, fuck it, I'll take this job as well. What's better than having one job, having 2 jobs? He's got 5 grand up front, he's getting another 5 grand up front. He's made his 10. So yeah, the next scene you see is him going to a gas station and going mad. He buys loads of stuff. He buys, fills the car right up this time. I don't think he's just going for $5 worth of gas. He's going for the whole tank. I think it works out. It's like his bill in like a petrol station. Oh, petrol station's pretty expensive anyway, but comes to like $117 or something like that. And we've already established that the gas prices are pretty cheap. So the rest of it he's spending on Twixes, Mars bars and Twinkies. I think that's what Americans eat. I'm sure any American listeners will let me know. Film to let us know that Twinkies is all you guys eat, apparently. And then he writes a letter to the sheriff as if he's Wayne, explaining the situation, saying, I want to kill my wife. I'm a bad man. And he mails it. And then he leaves Red Rock. And I thought, oh, for a film called Red Rock West, you're leaving Red Rock pretty soon. Where's the source of the plot going to come from now? Is it just going to be a episodic film of Nick Cage driving town to town looking for work? That actually sounds like a brilliant idea. Any studio executives? I know you guys probably listen to this podcast. Get on it. That was just off the top of the dome right there. So, given time, some money, and some resources, who knows what script I could come up with? Like, come on, guys, let's get the ball rolling on Drifter. That's what we call it, Job Drifter. Or reality TV show, bang, another idea. Nicolas Cage doing mundane jobs. The guy's been acting what looks like the majority of his life, so let's get him working at Tesco's. Let's get him working at J.C. Penney. Again, that's for any American listeners. Let's get him working at Target or the Walmart. Let's get him working as a street sweeper or working in a gas station or... let's get him doing menial jobs to see what it's like. He's been living in the clouds. Let's get him back down to the ground. Right, definitely it went way off track there. Let's get back to it. There's a storm coming in the film, like it's raging as he's leaving Red Rock, and there's a car like on the side of the road, and at the last moment a guy bolts out from behind this car and he fucking hits him with his car, and he's like, oh fucking hell, like it's the last thing you want. And then it's obviously there's only one place he can take him, back to Red Rock. Takes him to A&E, ER, and then they say, you gotta wait around. Please gotta wait around. Like, might need to ask you some questions. The police turn up because it turns out that the guy who was shot was the farmhand from earlier. So, fucking hell. Something's gone on. Something very, very dodgy. And, he's been shot twice in the stomach. And they're like, yeah, we need to have a word with you. Obviously, like, you're the only suspect at the moment because you brought him in. I thought if you would shoot someone, you would get away. Like, you would want to get away. But maybe that was their thinking. He's a fucking genius. Nobody would suspect the guy that brought him into that ER. And then the sheriff comes in. Who's the fucking sheriff? It's only Wayne. What? And the look on Cage's face is priceless when he realises, fuck, I've just sent a letter to the sheriff to say the sheriff wants his own wife killed. And Wayne knows instantly that his wife isn't dead. This man was on his way out of Red Rock. He's taken $5,000 of his cash, and he is not happy. And he takes Cage in his car and says, like, the deputies say to the sheriff, like, surely you can't take him. Like, he's not a suspect, is he? Surely he brought the guy in. Like, the logical thinking I had, like, yeah, they can't take him in. Of course he's gonna fucking take him in. He's taking $5,000 of his cash. He says to Wayne, like, I'm not the guy you think I am. Please just let me go. Like, I'll give you the money back. It's in the glove box of my car. It's just all a mistake. At this point, Wayne just drives off the road and then gives Michael Cage the keys to the handcuffs. I thought he was going to let him go, but then it turns into a fight, and Wayne chases Michael through the woods, and there's a shootout, and then he rolls down a hill, which seems comically long. A good like, I don't know, 30 seconds of film time. Lands in the middle of the road, and in the nick of time, a car stops literally with his face touching the bumper. And in this car, driving, is the one, the only crazy motherfucker, Dennis Hopper. He offers him a lift. He says, the only thing I could do, considering I nearly killed you, it's a good job that I got my brakes sorted today, otherwise you would be flat as a pancake. He's kind of like a bit dubious about obviously going back to Red Rock. He's like, just take me to my car, like, and I'll be gone. They talk about how they were both in the army, kind of bond over that, and it turns out that Michael was was one of the few survivors in a horrific ordeal in Lebanon, I think it is. Can't really remember. And he says to him, let me take you for a drink. It's the only thing, it's like the least I can do. Dennis Hopper is like, let's just go for a drink and have a chat. Let's have a chat about being army bros and stuff like that. And then it turns out that Dennis Hopper's name, like he says, oh, my name's Lyle. And then it's like, fuck. You realise, because they're at the bar, and he says to the barman that's there at the moment, oh, is Wayne about? I need to speak to him. And then he's like, yeah, well, he's out at the moment, but I'm sure I can give him a call. At this moment, Michael's like, fuck it, I'm out of here. Goes to the toilet, slips out the window. Smart move. And then hides on the roof of the bar. Wayne then turns up, and they're looking for Michael. He's informed Lyle of what's gone on. Now Lyle's after him. And then to get away from them, he does an ingenious thing. So there's a plank of wood on top of the bar, and then there is a truck driver who is stopped. Real tense. Picture it. So you've got the plank of wood, you've got the trucker finishing up the conversation with his friend. Time is of the essence. You've got Michael tightrope walking across this beam, trying to get there before the truck driver pulls away, before he's seen. There's a brilliant shot of Wayne in the foreground, and then in the background you can just see him tiptoeing across this beam from the top of the bar to the truck. And yeah, like, there's stuff like that. It's just like real tense moments, like, I don't know, that made me really enjoy this film. The fact that like there's this whole like just thinking of that scenario of like thinking I got away with this. I've told the sheriff, and it's like your stomach dropping when you realise, fuck. I don't like. I personally have this like one of my worst nightmares. Like I think it's is having no one to turn to. It's like everyone's in on it. I always use the example of Rosemary's Baby, like when she's trying to get away from this weird devil cult, and like it seems like even she goes to the doctors, anyone she turns to, they seem to be a part of it, and it's just like, fuck, what do I do? Back to the film. Sorry, I keep going off on one today, guys. It's gonna make for a fun podcast, so fuck it. Get a bit more of the insights of the inside of my crazy mind. There's only one person to blame for that, and that's Nicolas Cage, because actually the only person to blame for that is me, because I've put myself through the ringer on this one. But it's all in the name of entertainment, innit? He ends up on the roof of the car just in the nick of time. Pushes the beam back onto the roof, and then he's driving, like the trucker's driving down the freeway with Michael on the top of his truck, and it's brilliant. He just he like gets onto the top of the cab and then just knocks on the window, and the trucker's like stops and like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, man, I will shoot you in the face. He comes up with this bullshit like, I had to get away from my wife, and he's like, I need a lift to like wherever you can drop me, because I need to get away. She's crazy. And he's like, oh, why do you need to go to, I can't remember where he's like asking to drop him, but he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna see another woman. Of course I'll give you a lift, because he's a scumbag. So yeah, he drops him at Wayne's wife's house, and he then slips in the cover of darkness again. He likes creeping into this lady's house for some reason. And he explains to her how Lyle has turned up and that the ranch hand has been killed. And she's like, oh shit, things getting fucking dark. And Lyle then turns up. He's come to collect his money, and he's come to... obviously, he doesn't know that Michael's there, but he says to her, Michael says to her, hide out on the balcony. I'll sort out Lyle, don't worry. He lures him into lures him into the bathroom with the running of the bath, the running of the tap, and then smacks him over the head with an ornament, which is a great scene. And then he sabotages Lyle's car, which like a lot of people don't do in films. Like, I thought this was like, it's probably what you would really do to make sure someone doesn't come after you. And then they head out of town, and you think, thank goodness for that, we're out of Red Rock. Or are they? Then we get this little scene of the two deputies finding the money in the glove box of Michael's car, because they've impounded the car. Yeah, that's a little detail. They took the car. The sheriff took Michael, and obviously they're starting to think, oh, maybe this has got something to do with it. And then we cut back to Michael and Wayne's wife, who is played by, I totally forgot to mention, it's played by Lara Flynn Boyle, who is another alumni of Twin Peaks. Obviously, a lot of the cast members that featured in Wild at Heart, which was discussed on episode 13 or 14. Maybe 14. Yeah, it was discussed on one of those. But or 12. I'm not sure. Yeah, but it was one of the episodes. Bit far back. But yeah, this is another one, and obviously Dennis Hopper himself has a link to Lynch. Like, there is moments in this film that kind of had Lynchian aspects to me, not in like the craziness of it, but just kind of the idea itself that small towns are not what they seem, which is a recurrent theme throughout a lot of Lynch's work. Obviously, very much so in Twin Peaks and the subsequent film Fire Walk with Me, as well as the Twin Peaks The Return, the new season, which may add that episode 8 is fucking outstanding, and also one of the most surreal, crazy episodes of TV I've ever seen. And as I'm recording this, I haven't watched episode 9 yet, but I'm waiting for that, like, see if it carries on with that craziness or goes back. There's gonna be no spoilers for Twin Peaks on this, don't worry guys. I should probably add as well that Emma, my girlfriend, who featured on episode 16, the honeymoon in Vegas episode, that episode is actually the first episode of Twin Peaks she'd ever watched. So, oh god, for those who've seen it will get that, because it is like, I found myself saying to her, it's nothing like this isn't the show, like, please don't think I'm crazy. Even I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It hadn't since been like kind of giving it time to digest. Like, I'm glad it was 4th of July that we got that week off, because yeah, there's a lot of processing time for that episode. But yeah, as I was saying about Lynch and his exploration of small towns not being what they seem to be. Obviously, it's also featured in Blue Velvet very heavily, which links us back round to Dennis Hopper and yeah, Lara Flynn Boyle in Twin Peaks. There's a moment in this film as well that really reminded me of Blue Velvet, and I'll flag it up when we get there. But they're at a gas station, and the wife says, like, let's go to a bar. And he's like, come on, like, I thought we're getting out of here. Like, we are literally on the outskirts of town. Like, let's fucking vamoose. And she says, what's one drink? And it's like, for me, it's like famous last words. Like, it was the same. It's just one of those things. It's like, come, you know, like, it's just sort of like something bad is gonna happen. And they go to the bar and they talk about why Wayne wants her dead. And she explains this story of how her parents left her loads of money, and he knows that if she dies, he gets it all because he is her next of kin. And yeah, like, part of me was thinking, I'm not buying this, lady. Are you telling us the truth? And then we get Lyle is asked by Wayne, like, can you hunt them both down? He's like, I didn't fucking, I've just been knocked out for a couple of hours. Like, we're gonna have to. The money is definitely the danger money. We're gonna need some danger money for this, and obviously, and it's 2 people you want me to kill now, not just the one. Like, this is fucking bullshit. That's what this is, Wayne. What type of assassin do you think I am? He's like, yeah, we're going to need more money and probably going to have to start the search in the morning. Like, I might have been knocked out, but I'm going to have to get some proper shut-eye. I'm going to have to formulate a plan. I've got some crayons in my bag. I've got some paper. I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to do a Kevin McAllister style plan of action. Figure out the places they could have been. Start sniffing the ground like a Native American. Start going, oh, right. Sniffing around, yeah, having a look, thinking, yeah, like, start doing some real CSI, like, without a trace shit, so, see if they left at this time, the furthest radius they could have got, and then really start working on it. That's what I thought he would have been doing. I don't know what he did. He probably just went back to motel room, drank a load of booze straight out of the bottle, and then we go back to Michael and the wife, and they are pissed up. One drink turned into several by the looks of it. And she has another great idea that they check into the Comfort Inn. And that's it. Like, I just found it weird because they, like, the way they're talking to each other by now is like they've known each other for years and they end up having sex, and I'm not sure if you saw Nicolas Cage's dick. I've got my laptop, I've got my iPad here, and I'm just going to quickly search. It's pretty hard. Red Rock West Dick Cage. I've actually just this probably isn't the best. Yeah, like, I think you definitely see his penis in this film. It is a very small shot. Bad choice. It's a very small shot, but you definitely see his dick. I didn't think it was warranted. It's probably more so you'd expect to see that in Zanderley, like, say, a bit more erotic. But yeah, they chucked in a bit of a dick shot in this, which, like, for the way of equality, guys, being a feminist, like, and yeah, I'm into equal parts both people. Like, there's too many tits in a lot of films, especially in the early 90s, so it's good to see that they're getting some schlong out. Okay, guys, but yeah, that's sorry, I'm going off on a tangent about Nick Cage's dick. Not gonna describe it. I'm sure if you have a look online, you can find a picture of Nicolas Cage's dick if you want to from this film. I would put it on social media, but it'll probably get removed and people will think I'm pretty weird and creepy, and I would totally understand. But I might have just decided what the cover art for this is going to be. So that's fun. So yeah, they kind of wake up, like, not in the morning, like, maybe it's after sex, but like, she's saying, yeah, let's move to Mexico, and he's like, yeah, let's do it, yeah, we'll move to we'll do that, definitely. And then literally it cuts and it's the next morning, and she mentions Mexico, and he just seems confused. So I reckon that was definitely like that kind of like after sex. Probably a man will say anything. You could say like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna buy me a house?" Okay, yeah, of course, yeah. Can I just go to sleep now because I'm a dickhead? Like she's just full of great plans. This is like one of the things that makes me think that maybe she isn't telling us everything. Is her plan is to go back to Red Rock to get money so they can go to Mexico. She knows that Wayne has some money in his office, so they break into his office. They fumble about. She can't get into the safe, and it's real tense because, like, you know that. Obviously, you don't know because I haven't told you, but there was a plan that Lyle and Wayne would meet in Wayne's office at 9 a.m. They obviously don't know about that. So, but as the audience, we know, and we're like, oh. I'm pretty sure, like, the clock on the wall is very close to 9. It's like, fuck, what's going to happen? Are they going to get away with it? Are they going to get out in time? And they get the money, and then Wayne, like, it's coming, like, they hear the doors going, they're like, fuck, it's Wayne. So what do? They hide in the closet. Good move. But they had left, like, some papers hanging out of under the rug, so Wayne's suspicious. But like, literally moments after he just got, like, seconds after, his deputies come in and they're like, we found something that is of interest. You're like, oh fuck, maybe they're talking about the money in the glove box. Oh no, there's a whole load of crazy shit about to be unloaded upon us. It turns out that Wayne and his wife are not called Wayne, and his wife, sorry, I forgot to write down her name. Seemed like a fucking sexist dickhead, don't I? It probably is in my notes, but probably a little later on. I do apologise. Laura Flynn Boyle. Turns out that's not her name because she's playing a character. But yeah, it turns out that they were on the FBI wanted list, and they are there to arrest him. It's not the money from her parents they're after. The money they are after is money that they had robbed from, I can't remember what it was. It's like a quarry or something crazy like that. But they robbed millions, and those two are on the run. They've changed their name. They're hiding out in this sleepy town. By the looks of it, they have been there for a few years and taken these new identities, kind of got into positions of power, and yeah, really made it look like they're the people you would never suspect. And then they come out of the closet because Wayne's gone, and she's like, oh yeah, we'll still go to Mexico. To which Nicolas Cage replies, fuck Mexico! And his rage is definitely justified. He obviously took this woman's word, and he's like, I just kept thinking this guy just wanted a fucking job. Like, what a fucking terrible Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wanted to just get on with his life. He wanted to, like, at every possible opportunity, he has just tried to get out, and it's the classic, like, the Godfather. I try to get out and they pull me back in. Yeah, that's what, like, just feel sorry for the guy. Like, he's fucking pissed because she's not who she says she is. Like, it's like nobody is who they say they are. Like, he's just stuck here in this mad town full of fucking, it's like, they're crazier than a box of frogs. And then, who's gonna turn up? Our main man, Lyle. And then, yeah, he takes them hostage. He knocks Michael out. He has them both tied up. And then he sees the note that they are on the FBI wanted list, that they have all this money, and he's like, right, that's it. I'm gonna get Wayne. We're gonna set this all right. I'm gonna get my money. I'm gonna get your money. I'm gonna get all the fucking money because you're all like. He wants them. Michael wants to get out. She wants to get her money. Wayne wants her dead. It's a real fucking web of deceit and treachery, and it's fucking great. Watch this film, guys. Red Rock West. I can't say it enough. Red Rock West. Bloody watch it. Sure, you could probably find it on YouTube. You could stream it online. Buy it on DVD if you can, because that's great. Support DVD, support film, support Blu-rays, even support iTunes. And they're like, how the fuck are we going to get Wayne out of jail? Oh, don't worry about it. Lyle's an unhinged man. He's essentially this could have been a sequel to Blue Velvet, because he's very similar to the character of Frank he plays in that. I know Dennis Hopper is kind of famed for playing unhinged characters, and I forgot to mention, as I said I would, the moment inside of the wardrobe, or the closet at Wayne's office, very much reminded me of Blue Velvet, because of that peering through slats in a closet is very reminiscent of Carl McLaughlin's character in Blue Velvet. And I don't know if it was a conscious choice by this director to kind of bring up that imagery, and obviously it maybe subconsciously or what, because obviously Dennis Hopper's in it. I don't know, for someone like me, obviously I'm looking at these films with an analytical eye, so I don't know, I'm going to pick up on this weird little details. His plan is to burn down the old Duncan house as a distraction, and he gets all the cops out. They're out of the station. They're going to sort that out. They're calling in reinforcements, kind of like a neighborhood watch kind of step-in program. When times are tough, we're calling you up like a reserves, like a TA, like a police TA. And Lyle goes in, shoots one of the policemen, the guy's working the radio, makes a deal with Wayne for his freedom for half the money. I think it's something like $9 million. And he's like, I'm the only person who knows where the money is, and I will take you. In this time, Michael has managed to get rid of his restraints and is trying to get Lara Flynn Boyle out of the car as well, and to no avail, because as he's trying to untie her, Lyle walks out with Wayne's like, what the fuck you doing? Get back in the car. You're driving. So we got Slippery Nick behind the wheel. We got Lyle riding shotgun. We got Wayne in the back with his wife. We got a car of rage, hate, and double crossing. And then there's a really weird scene of just Michael kind of losing his shit, and he's racing a train, and it's just this crazy energy from Dennis Hopper's character. There's just kind of I don't know, he's a very visceral actor, and it's he's egging him on. He's just kind of do it kind of thing. And they're going to where the money is buried. And then, Lyle has this real freak out, and he's saying, hey, Mike, you think you're better than me? And then he shoots out of the window, right next to his head, and it's just fucking I don't know, he's in the car just swigging down whiskey out of the bottle, evidently you probably would be pissed off if you had gone for a job like, I don't know who's in the right here. Like, obviously, he's a fucking psychopath. What do I mean? Like, why am I quite, like, funny to question my own fucking morals here? Sorry, guys, it's real hot. Losing my mind. Fuck. So yeah, he has the freak out, and then the cops are then looking for them. They head out, and it's getting dark by now, and they end up at a graveyard, and oh boy, it gets fucking crazy here. There's triple crossing. It's crazy. Like, Wayne says, you're not getting, like, I'm not opening, like, they dig up a grave and there's a box inside that obviously has the money, and he says, I'm not doing it until I'm untied to Lyle. And then he's like, I'm not doing it until you put down, like, yeah, he's like, Lyle, put down your gun. Like, I'm not doing it. I want to be untied. I want you to put down your gun, because how do I know as soon as I open this box you're not going to shoot me? And he's like, cool, I agree to it, let's do it. I'll put down the gun. Wayne opens the box. Who'd have fucking thought it? He put a gun in there with the money. So now we have Lyle's gunless, Wayne's in control. The power has shifted. All this time, all bearing in mind, you have Michael and the wife just waiting on the sidelines. Lyle then, like, he's then like, give me the fucking keys to the car. I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of here. And then Lyle throws him the keys, but a bit too short, and Wayne fucking loses it. He's like, and then this is amazing. Slips out of his, like, fucking, like a card trick, like, up his sleeve. Lyle pulls out a knife, throws a knife in Wayne's fucking throat, has him down on the ground. He's then Mike tackles Lyle. The wife tries to get the money and the gun from Wayne. Like, Michael and Lyle are fighting for ages, like, tumbling all over the graveyard, and ends up getting, like, Lyle ends up getting stabbed on a sword from a tombstone. It's like, you can't fucking write this shit. Obviously you can. Someone did in 1993 and released the fucking film, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's like, why? I just don't get it. It looked like an old graveyard. Like, I don't know if it was made of stone or metal. I think it's metal. He has a metal sword. He gets stabbed on that, and like, Mike comes walking out like, oh fucking hell, we've done it. Like, the wife's got the gun, she's got the money, and it looks like for a second, like, fuck. Not only have we got the triple, we've got the double cross, we've had the triple cross. Like, yeah, she's now, looks like she's gonna shoot Mike, and then it's that classic back from the dead. Lyle's behind him, shoots low. It's like, fucking phew, maybe she's a good guy after all. Then it's time for them to make their escape. Wayne's there laying on the floor. He's bleeding out. Lyle's bleeding out. The police are on their way. They've been called by the graveyard superintendent, what do they call him, like the caretaker. He's called the police because he's heard commotion. He's heard gunshots. Michael and the wife run for the train. He gets on first and he's like, come on, give me the bag of money. She's like, no, I'm not going to give you the bag of money. You're just not going to help me on. She eventually throws the, like, bag onto the train. The gun comes out. He gets her onto the train. He notices the gun. The screen goes black as, like, they go through a tunnel. She's now got the gun on him. They have, like, a talk. She's, like, kind of confesses her plan, as always happens in films. She says, like, turns out she killed the ranch hand. She wants the money for herself. all the way through. She's been as rotten as bad as Lyle, as Wayne. Poor Michael's just caught in the middle of all this fucking shit, and he's like, it's all about the money with you. And she goes to shoot him, and it turns out there was no bullets left in the gun. Mike then just picks up the bag of money, pours it all out, and then pushes her out of the train, which I think is pretty fucking moody, but funny at the same time. And conveniently does this just as the police caught up with the train. Looks like she's about to get arrested. He looks like he's going to get away on that cargo bay of the train, looking happy with himself. And in all that commotion, he had managed to tuck like a wad of the cash on the side of the train. And it's all turned out hunky-dory for our main man Mike. And that's what I would call a happy ending. Yeah, so as I said, like, I really enjoyed this film. I don't know, like, it's actually been it's actually been a week since I watched this film. So I went kind of heavily off my notes, but a lot of stuff was coming back to me as I was reading them. I went to record this episode, and just kind of I don't know, I don't want to go into too much detail, but kind of had like a little minor freak out, like, kind of thing. And didn't have like health wise wasn't feeling the best, so I just abandoned it. That's why there wasn't an episode last week. Massively apologise for that, but thanks for coming back this week and checking this episode out, because it was a real fun one. This is a real fun film, and I can't stress enough that people should check it out. But we've had enough of me talk. Well, not me talking, but what my opinions are of this film. It's time to have a little look at what the internet says about this film. So right now we have 3 scores, and those scores will be coming from the lovely people at IMDb, those equally lovely people at Rotten Tomatoes, and that lovely, lovely man, God rest his soul, Rog, as I call him, Ebert. And respectively, the scores go as this. So, in 1 from IMDb, this film has a 7 out of 10. And by my book, that's a good score. This is a good bloody movie. The equally lovely folks over at Rotten Tomatoes scored this film 95%. 95, that's 5% off 100%, guys. Not many films have 100%. Like, I'm glad that this film is received as well as I received it. Like, I think this film is a hidden gem. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, like, if you kind of like, I don't know what films to liken it to. The only film that's in my mind, I know it's not a good film, it's Reindeer Games. But that kind of thing, that kind of like, I feel like I've kind of ruined it for you, but like, it's still really fun. I think even if you know the twists are coming, like, but fucking check it out. It's really good. And Roger Ebert, obviously esteemed late like film critic Roger Ebert, gave this one 3.5 out of 4. 3.5 out of 4. So again, across the board, very good scores, and like it's good to see that I am in keeping with what is said about this film. Like, obviously, like, I don't know, it's sometimes fun that like my opinions to like what is on the internet is completely different. It's funny when I enjoy some absolute shit. It is for me anyway. Like Deadfall, I enjoyed that thoroughly, but probably for all the wrong reasons, or for me, all the right reasons. But this, yeah, it's good to see that this is was well received, and like a lot of people, when I said I was doing this episode for Red Rock West, they're like, I've never heard of that film. And definitely reckon, yeah, as I keep saying, go check this film out. Hopefully me talking about these films and like hopefully like my passion for these films, when I do enjoy them all, my disdain comes across. I don't know if I sound a bit too monotone or anything like that. Feel free to let me know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at CagedInPod. Email cagedinpod@gmail.com. Little plug there for the social media and email. But no, obviously, yeah, feel free. Like, but hopefully that passion and disdain comes across and makes you guys either want to watch these films because I've enjoyed them, or makes you want to watch these films because like a lot of these films for the sheer like laugh factor. Obviously, there's a lot of people into films that are so bad it's good, and like a lot of these are, and so far I found some real fucking gems. So yeah, I'd like, let me know, please let me know if you watch any of these films, and this one is definitely up there as one you should definitely check the fuck out. That's one to cross off the list. Red Rock West done. And next week, if everything goes to plan, and it should do, will be Guarding Tess, released in 1994, and is another one for you lucky guys that I know nothing about. I don't have a guest lined up for this one, but if I happen to, in the time being, I'll let you guys know, and the best place to keep up to date with all that is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You guys got it right. And I'll repeat again, is at CagedInPod. So at, then CagedInPod. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I post a lot of stupid shit and funny stuff and whatever, like anything I see that's Cage related, I'm always sharing it I'm always retweeting it and stuff like that. And yeah, if you guys want to like shout me out, like not shout me out, but like kind of chat to me through that, I'll send me a message, send me a comment, I will write back. Like, you might think I'm a fucking idiot, and I don't know, I might seem like, oh yeah, check out this episode if you like that film. I don't know, I just try, like, yeah, one of the best things that people can do as well, please, like, I don't think I've said it on a couple of episodes, but like, please rate, review and subscribe on iTunes as well, or listen to this on like whatever. You can subscribe on Acast, and you can follow on Stitcher or whatever like that. But one of the best things you guys can do to support the podcast is just tell someone you know who's into films, or especially the films of Nicolas Cage, or just I don't know. Yeah, if you feel that this is entertaining in any way, just tell one person, and if that person tells one person, before you know it, there'll be a whole heap of people like sat at home laughing, like not necessarily with me, but at me, because like this is not an original idea. There's obviously a lot of podcasts that do this same thing, but I don't know. I like to feel like I have everyone, all of us who are doing it, like have our own unique perspective on these films, and that's what's amazing about film criticism anyway, and what's amazing about podcasting is that you could do a podcast on the same thing and everyone will have unique voices and opinions on stuff. So like, I don't know, some people could easily like poo-poo the idea. Like, my idea of this is to look at myself as well as these films, see how I am mentally taking this, like, and diving as much as I can into the culture of this actor, like try and find out as much as I can about, I don't know, almost what it is like to be a fan of someone. It's like, I've joined, yeah, as I said before, I've joined subreddit groups, I've joined One True God, which is like kind of like the mecca for Nicolas Cage fans. I follow countless pages on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, just dedicated to Nicolas Cage, which is fucking great. And it's something I wouldn't do. I'm sure when it comes to the next actor I do for season 2, I will dive headfirst into what they do. And obviously, I'm trying to see if this makes me stupid, or if this kind of, I don't know, maybe chatting down a mic for hours upon hours. I'm going to develop some skills in being able to communicate my ideas a lot more fluently and concise, even though I've been rambling on for over an hour, so maybe that's not right. Maybe, I don't know, if I got these down to like a 20-minute episode, people would love that, and more people would listen, subscribers would go through the roof. But I don't know, I love that podcasts are long form, and that I can, I appreciate everyone who listens as well. I don't know, I feel like that's a good place to leave it. So yeah, as always, I've been Petros Patsilivus. I've been caged in. You've been rad. Bye.